So some things you want to track is during this time, we want to lose fat, but we want to maintain your muscle mass. So to do that, you need to be consuming high protein every day. I would say minimum 80 grams of protein. 80 grams of protein would be, I think, 6 ounces of chicken breast, which is about the size of a chicken breast. That's about 40 grams of protein. A 6 to 8 ounce steak is about 40 grams of protein. So you look at 2 meals with about 40 grams of protein each. Very, very important because we want to lose 30 pounds of fat, ideally. We don't want that to be muscle, and we don't want that to be bone density. So we need to make sure you're getting your protein intake. So write that down. You want a minimum of 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. Ideally through fish, chicken, eggs, lean protein source, turkey. In week 2 and 3, we're going to incorporate liquid protein. We'll talk about that in a second. So this is going to provide you the protein to maintain your muscles. Eggs are going to be very, very important because inside of the eggs, you have a lot of your amino acids, which is what your muscles need to maintain and also build muscles in your body. So the protein is going to help you to preserve your muscle mass. This is why when people do the Ozempic shots and all these different shots, it puts them in a severe calorie deficit. But what most of those people end up doing is just nibbling and snacking throughout the day. I mean, they eat like potato chips, a handful of rice. They eat a bunch of carbs. And yes, they lose weight significantly, but they also lose about 40 to 50% of their muscle mass because it's easier for you to consume a handful of rice than it is a 4-ounce piece of chicken when you're taking those shots and you're severely in a calorie deficit. So we want to focus in on making sure you're getting proper amount of protein. In your first week, we're going to cut carbs in week 1. So what we mean by cutting carbs, we're avoiding the rice, the pastas, the potatoes, and you want to supplement that with a lot of vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, spinach, broccoli, greens, kale greens, collard greens, green peas, all your green, colorful vegetables. They're going to be high in fiber. They're going to be filled with a lot of nutritional values, but they're going to be very, very low in calorie. So in week 1, you're going to look at basically 2 meals in week 1. You're drinking your minimum 90 ounces of water up to about a gallon of water a day. You're drinking 2 Unimontes a day. And you're going to drink, I would say, do 2 balances because this is going to help you feel fuller longer with those 2 meals. So if you're doing the 2.0 where you're getting 2 Unimontes a day and 1 balance, I would say get an extra balance to go with it during these next 30 days. So you have a balance with meal 1, a balance with meal 2. You have a Unimonte when you wake up in the morning, and you have a Unimonte midday. Your meals, no rice, no pasta, no dairy, vegetables, and protein. Protein, fish, meat, chicken, eggs, where you're looking for 80 to 100 grams of protein for the day. So that's basically 40 to 50 grams. And when I say 100, so more men would go more towards 100 grams of protein. Ladies, you're more 70 to 80 grams of protein. Depending on how big of a man like me, I do about 200 grams of protein a day because my muscle mass by itself is like 215 pounds, just pure muscle mass and bones for me. So I need about 200 grams of protein to maintain my muscles. So I do 200 grams of protein. I don't think we have any guys on here that's that big. So minimum 80 to 100 grams of protein. So that's week 1. So your first week, you make sure you're drinking your gallon of water, preferably get close to a gallon of water a day. You're doing 2 Unimontes a day. You're having 2 meals with 80 grams or more in protein for the day, so 40 grams in each meal, and vegetables with those meals. That's week 1. Week 2, we're now going to shift to liquids in week 2. So your 2 meals for the day, you want that to be basically liquid protein shake or a meal replacement shake. But you're looking for a shake that's going to get you about 40 grams of protein in each serving, or it might be 20 grams of protein in each serving, and you drink 2 servings of that shake for your first meal, 2 servings of that shake for your second meal. Now, during the second week, if you don't have your super greens, you're going to want to get your super greens and incorporate that in your second week. So now you're getting all your green chlorogenic acid, all the greens are now coming from that super greens where you're eating vegetables in week 1. Because the main thing is we want to make sure the body is getting the nutrition that it needs to continue to function so you don't get hungry, you don't feel cravings, you don't have headaches. It's really, really smooth. So in week 2, instead of having vegetables, you're going to take the super greens. You can mix that in your balance. I mix it in my balance all the time, mix it up, and I drink my balance and my super greens together. In meal 1, instead of eating, physically chewing that 40 grams of protein, you want to drink 40 grams of a liquid protein shake. If you get the protein shake from Unicity, I think it has like 20 grams of protein in there. If you're more of a vegan person, they have vegan shakes out there. I've got OWN that I use for like half my shakes because that's a vegetable source protein. And then I have my whey protein that I got from Unicity, and I have some other whey protein for just different flavors because I think Unicity just has a vanilla. So meal 1, you're going to drink your balance with your super greens mixed in it, and you're going to have liquid protein shake, 40 grams worth of protein in that meal 1. Have your Unimante when you wake up in the morning. Midday, you have a second Unimante. For that second meal, you're going to have another 40 grams worth of protein shake, your balance, and another serving of super greens. Because what we're doing here is severe calorie deficit, but we're giving your body that protein so you can maintain the muscle mass. You're getting your nutrition through the balance. You're getting nutrition through your Unimante. You're getting nutrition through your super greens. So you're not having any withdrawals, any headaches, but your body is burning that fat off of your body. And you're going to do that week 2 and week 3. In week 4, you're going to start to introduce your foods, solid foods, back to your body. Your first couple of days, you want to do this in a soup form. So you can make like a big thing of chicken soup. So you put your vegetables in there, put some chicken breasts in there, you cook that down. So you have protein in there, you have all your vegetables, you got your bone broth, and your first 2 or 3 days, you want more of a soup consumption going back into your body. Then day 3, 4, and 5, start to introduce vegetables back and your protein back into your system, but we're still just doing vegetables and protein in those last couple of days. And at the end of those 4 weeks, you're going to feel incredible. Your mental clarity, your focus, you'll be amazed. Inflammation, joint pains, you will be amazed how those are literally just gone. Now, some other things you might want to have around are bone broth. You can drink on bone broth throughout the day. You feel like you need something, you can warm that up, put in a cup. Bone broth has a lot of protein in it, and it has a lot of vitamins, minerals, and nutrition. It also has your amino acids, which is key because you want to get your amino acids